thank you, Dr. Shankar Navle, for arranging this interview with us. So, I wanted to know that as you have 20 years of experience, which include 9 years of administration and 5 years of research, so you have held key position at education institute throughout your professional career. What are the factors that keep you connected with the education sector?
Okay, that's a very nice question. First of all, Ms. Niharika, let me thank you for giving me an opportunity to interact with you. And of course, the question which you asked is related to the education sector. Being like engineer, everybody think that okay, we'll work in the industry. But like when I was doing my engineering, once I got an opportunity to teach to my own friends. Then I got to know that when I did my SWOT analysis, I got to know that I'm very good as a teacher. And then I chosen this as my profession as a teacher. And I'm very fortunate. I can thanks to God that He has given me an opportunity to work in the sector. Where actually, when we being teachers, we have it. Of course, everybody knows it's a noble profession. Teaching is a noble profession. And that too, when we are a teacher at engineering institute, a professional institute, we are required to have very good different kind of attributes. And we are always dealing with the young minds. Engineering students are actually innovative in their own way. And as a teacher, I consider myself as a complete package basically. I'm a teacher, I'm a good researcher, even administrator. And I think all this blend has helped me when I'm working as a principal, because I know that when I'm dealing with my students, I have the blend of like as a teacher, researcher, and then as an administrator, which helps me to grow as an individual also, and to my institute also, and it is helping me to when I'm interacting with all the stakeholders of my institute. Therefore, education sector, of course, contributes a lot to the country, and it helps everyone to grow at their personal level. This is my personal opinion.
Okay, sir. So, being the principal of NBN Sihangat College of Engineering, Solapur, what is your philosophy of leadership, and how do you describe your leadership style?
Of course, I know, actually there used to be different kind of leadership styles. I personally believe that a leader should be a person who must be a very good listener. At the same time, he himself should have a great vision. Unless and until a leader has certain vision, he or she cannot take that organization, that institute ahead. Therefore, I think in my leadership style, I'm basically very accommodating. I think that I believe in democracy. I believe in democratic kind of system. Everybody in our organization, of course, though there are certain hierarchies, it is required to be like as a principal, then deans, and then head of the departments, the different coordinators. It is only as the execution of that activity, but it does not mean that I believe in that like anybody in my college, even any of the student, any of the employee, maybe it's a teaching employee, teaching staff, non-teaching staff, or my students, or like the parents of the students, even the alumni, any of the stakeholder basically can easily approach to me. I believe in that kind of system. I believe always that you should take the inputs from each and everyone. And of course, we do have that kind of atmosphere in our institute that we have different committees, different boards where we used to take the inputs from different stakeholders. And all those inputs are incorporated when we are executing or when we are planning for the next academic year. Therefore, I believe that a democratic kind of leadership is helping me to grow my institute. And of course, it has given very good results till date. And I'm easily approachable to each and everyone.
That's really great, sir. So, being the principal of NBN SCOE Solapur, how do you strategize about the key programs and plan for the marketing and administration of your school?
Okay. Ma'am, I think like if we are doing well at the institute level inside the campus, you are not required to go for different kind of marketing strategies. Of course, nowadays we know that the social media and even different medias, electronic media, even the print media also has a different impact. But because of like these kind of situations, we can say that the social media has taken like very good lead. Of course, in our college also we do have like different IT cell, which basically because in our college on the regular basis, even in this pandemic situation also, people were struggling about like how to carry over the activities. But let me frankly tell you, during this pandemic situation also, we had so many activities. Of course, it's our tradition. Like when we are working at the institute, we try to see that our students should be developed as an overall personality, and therefore we are required to focus on different aspects of the student. Of course, academic activities are the prime focus, but with academic activities, there are co-curricular, extracurricular activities also. And when we are doing these activities, all these activities are required to reach at least to our stakeholders. And we consider that our own employees and the students also are the brand ambassadors of our institute. We need not to do any kind of like extra effort for the advertisement or for the marketing of the institute. But of course, through these activities only, because these activities anyway comes through different media, and it has been recognized, or it has been noted by the society, and of course that is how the publicity is being done. And it has helped us. Like everybody knows nowadays, like everybody, if you see Sinhagad Institute, everybody knows about Sinhagad Institute, and that too Sinhagad Institute Solapur, everybody has got to know. I think this is only because of whatever we do, it is being percolated in the society through mouth-to-mouth publicity. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. So the education system in India and other foreign countries are structured very differently. In your experience, what can an inbound student gain from studying here in your institute?
Great. Actually, let me tell you, even I personally have got very good opportunities. I did my MTech and PhD from VJTI Mumbai. And then when I was pursuing my PhD, I got an opportunity to do my part of PhD research at University of Rome, Italy. I was in Italy for 6 months. And by seeing my that research, I have been invited by like Grenoble University of France, and where I did my postdoctoral research from France. And even that time I got the fellowship from European Commission. And let me tell you, even till date, I have visited so many countries. I have, because of the conferences or research symposium, I have presented some of my research work, or to attend some of the research meetings, and to get to know some of the educational systems. These all experiences has helped me when like I have started my career here as a principal. Of course, I'm there in Sinhagad. Probably you may not be knowing about, or I don't know like how much you know about Sinhagad Institute. Sinhagad Institute itself is a like a very good brand in education system in Maharashtra. Everybody, of course, outside Maharashtra also, so many people knows about Sinhagad Institute. And we have provided very good education quality till date. And the quality education is only our basically motto that we can say. And now when I have this kind of experience at international level also, this has helped me because when I see at international level and at Indian curriculum basically, the biggest difference is that normally now the systems are changing with the changing scenarios. But previously, if you could have seen, and fortunately we have taken very good steps than any other institute. Basically, we normally had the theoretical kind of teaching approach, whereas in abroad universities, they have the practical kind of learning approach. Instead of teaching, they have a learning kind of approach. And then we at our Sinhagad Solapur, we have tried to incorporate that kind of like problem and project-based learning approach in our institute. We actually expect that every student of this institute should like identify some of the problems in the industry or maybe in the society, and then they should formulate that problem. They should analyze that problem, and based on that problem, they should like do some project. And let me tell you, this concept has worked very well, at least in our institute. And almost every student of this institute is getting involved in this like activity, problem and project based learning approach. Now, initially it was only project based learning approach. We have changed it to problem and project based learning approach, and now we are working with the approach of problem, project and product based learning approach. And let me tell you, now the students whoever are doing their projects, final year projects, like almost like 5% of those projects are being converted as a project. And those products, even we have like in our college itself, we have started the startups. The students who have completed their graduation, after completion of their graduation, they have started their own. They wanted to convert that project in a product, and now they have like started a startup in the institute, and they are having, initially they started with only one project as a product. Now they do have their 4 to 5 different products. So this approach, whatever like practical based approach is required in engineering, because engineering is basically practical oriented education. It's not like only theory, which to be, of course, theory is required to understand the concept. But unless, and I personally believe that doing is learning. Unless and until you do on yourself, you cannot learn. You cannot acquire the skills, because it will be only you will get the knowledge. But unless and until you convert your knowledge on certain practical basis, you cannot develop your skills. So to develop your skills, you are required to have the practical based approach. And we at our institute, CINGAT Solapur, we have started to inculcate that kind of approach amongst our faculty and even among students, and it has helped us a great way.
Okay, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So, to know more about that, can you tell us that how does the curriculum of MBA and SUH Solapur ensures the best practices of industry?
As rightly I said that we do have a problem and project based learning approach in our institute. Of course, we still don't is not an autonomous institute. We are affiliated to Solapur University, Solapur. Now, when we are affiliated to another university, we are required to follow the curriculum designed by our own university. Of course, like I myself and some of our senior faculty members are also there in the board of studies of our own university. And at that time only we used to take care that the curriculum which is designed at the university level should be of that kind, which should identify the current trends, and we should be able to solve the current or we should be able to pace to match with the pace of the industry. But then also it does not become very much possible at university level to identify or to breach all the gaps. Then what we did at our institute level, we at the second what we can say that other than university curriculum, we have identified the gaps at our institute in the curriculum, and then we have developed our own model. Basically, it is a part of our project and problem and project based learning. What we are doing, after identifying the gaps, we are providing extra value added programs to our students. These value added programs basically are with the current trends which are required in the market. If suppose any of the students before graduating, because we have seen that most of the students after graduating, of course it is not the fact with our institute, but we have seen with other institutes also, that the students after graduation, they go in the market and then they come to know that, okay, this is what was required to be learned, because the market or the industry has gone one step ahead. Therefore, we are trying to identify those gaps, and then we provide the separate valuation program for that that batch or those students as per their requirement, as per their interest. And then it's not only providing the knowledge. We expect that at the end of each valuation program, students should complete a small project. Because unless, as I said, unless and until somebody does or works on the project, they cannot acquire the skills. And this is how like our curriculum is basically, we can say that the curriculum of Sihangarh Solapur is matching with the requirement of the industry. Thank you.
So that are quite an impressive strategy that you have. So going forward, I would like to know that I'd like to know the insight into how your college could be more welcoming to students of different races and economic backgrounds.
Hi. Let me tell you, as I was telling you, the Sihangarh Institute itself is a like a very well-known brand in education system. We provide highest quality education, and of course, I can proudly tell that we provide like quality education, highest quality education in our institute. And as we are located at Solapur, because like Solapur, you might be knowing that it is one of the district place in Maharashtra, where basically like the students from all the backgrounds, different kind of financial, family, or different kind of religious background even are coming to our institute. We at our institute have provided, of course, ours is a like very big campus. It's a 90 acres lush green campus. Even we have got a green campus award also from AICT. It's a very beautiful campus which has all kind of facilities, like sports facilities. Even we do have indoor sports, outdoor sports, and then like hostel facilities and all the facilities. But apart from that, if suppose students are coming from different backgrounds, we at our institute, if somebody has certain economical like problem, so what we are doing that we from our institute level we provide certain kind of scholarships. If student is very bright, we provide certain scholarships. Or sometimes if it is, they get to know that what is the actually the conditions of the students. If they are having different, they are facing different conditions, or they are facing different problems, then of course in our fees also we provide certain installments. The students can pay their fees with the installments also. And of course, being approved by AICT and affiliated to university, and even recognized by Director of Technical Education Maharashtra. Therefore, the students whoever are learning in our institute are taking the benefit of different scholarships given by either from the state government or the central government also. Therefore, till date we did not find any of the problem to any of the student of our institute because of their financial conditions they could not learn. If suppose we find that kind of problem, because we have those kind of cases with us where students had a certain severe problem, but we from our own level have helped the students to complete their graduation. Let me tell you, students who have been even though they were having some problems at their family, but still they have done very good and they have got very good placement. Even some of the students have got a placement in 2 or 3 different type of MNCs also. That also kind of track record we do have with us. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. So coming to the next question, what do you think your roles and responsibilities to the college and the students are?
Yeah, of course. I think the answer of this question comes to my previous answer. When you ask me as a leader, what do you think? Because as a principal has all kind of roles and responsibilities. I can say principal is a teacher, is a researcher, is a mentor. He has to have the bearing between the management and teaching staff members, non-teaching staff members. He's a caretaker. He is required to deal with all the stakeholders, with the students, with the parents, with the alumni, with the industry. We have the very good communication with all our stakeholders. As a principal, it is my prime responsibility that I should keep harmony between all the stakeholders and should keep the faith of my students in the institute. And therefore, let me tell you, I am as I said, ours is a beautiful campus. I myself we are residing in the campus itself, and therefore I am 24 hours available for any of the stakeholders. and we are there to help them like in all their well-beings and everywhere it is required, and at the same time with the like inputs of all the stakeholders, because I cannot say that I'm alone doing everything. Of course it's a team, but with that team we are doing very well. Let me tell you, we actually at Sihagat Solapur, we have started our institute in 2010. Within last 10 years only, we have certain milestones with us. Ours is already a NAAC A-graded institute, and that too we apply in the online accreditation system, and we have got A grade out of 4. We have got 3.12 CGPA from NAAC. Ours is a nationally recognized institute. We have got the recognition from Ministry of Education and MIC, that Innovation Council of Government of India, where we have got the ranking at national level of Atal ranking of institutions for innovation achievement. At ranking we have already got 4.5 star rating out of 5 star from Innovation Council of Government of India. At the same time, we have certain research lab, we have Center for Research and Technology Development in our institute. So as a leader, as a principal, I think that it is my role to take my institute at the different level, which will help to grow up the institute, and of course directly indirectly it helps to all our stakeholders and to the society at large. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. So, what do you think should be the college top priority over the next 10 years?
Okay. I think, as I said, within the last 10 years from the inception, we could achieve these many things. We have like so many remote centers at our institute. Like we have ISRO's remote center, we have virtual lab in our college, we have NITTR's remote center in our college. We are already tied with the most of the IITs, and we do have. Next 10 years, of course, 10 years, if you consider, will be a very long period. And of course, after 10 years, we are expecting a different level. But I think we have planned not for 10 years, but for next 3 and 5 years. Now, as I said, from the inception, we start from 2010 till 2020. In 10 years, if we could reach to the national level, we have got the national level recognitions. Now we are expecting that within the next 5 to 10 years, we should have the international level recognitions. Of course, we even have taken certain steps. Our students are actually doing their internship at the international level. Even after their third year of completion of their third year under graduation, before they enter in final year, they are doing their internships at the international universities. But we haven't received any recognition from international level. Our prime focus will be to get the international recognitions in next 5 to 10 years. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. So, what would you like people to know about your university that they may not know?
Yeah. As I said, Sihagat Institute, probably most of the student or most of the parents and society knows about Sihagat Institute. Sihagat Institute, it's the very good, but we can say brand in education system. The students whoever take the admission in Sihagat Institute, they get very good placements. Of course, as I said, Sihagat being reputed institute, all MNCs, they first approach to Sihagat Institute, and even they book the first day of their placement drive with the Sihagat Institute. All the students of Sihagat Institute, as we have 10 engineering colleges, all the students of Sihagat Institute, they come under the only one umbrella of Sihagat Institute, and they get all kind of placement opportunities. Whatever dream companies the students are expecting, all those dream companies used to visit to Sihagat Institute, and they get very good opportunities. Apart from that, at Sihagat Solapur, as I said, our placement record is very good. But apart from that, we have started as we are having at our own institute, we are having one of the research lab which is said by Government of India's under the Ministry of Earth Science through IITM, Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. They do have their own research lab in our campus where they do have like very large setup, and they're basically doing research on the cloud physics. Now, being partner institute with that IITM, our students get an opportunity to work with that IITM research lab. Even like we have very good types, more than like we have the industries with which we have the MOUs, more than 60 top reputed, like Reliance Jio is there, Ultratech Cement is there. There are so many like companies with which we do have the MOUs. The students get opportunity to work with all these industries, like to either to complete their internships, and it's our observation that once the student complete their internship, they are even hired by the same companies. So that kind of opportunity also, like to do the internship, or if some of the students would like to do some of the like instead of going in industry, they want to start their own entrepreneurship. So that kind of atmosphere also, we do have separate entrepreneurship cell, development cell in our college, which promotes the students, which guides the students to be entrepreneur. At the same time, we have very good track record of the students who are like expecting to pursue their higher studies either in India or outside India. And every year, the students of these colleges are going to like pursue their higher studies. As I said, they do their internship when they are going from third year to final year, and after completion of their graduation, they go for their higher studies at abroad universities also. I think being located at the place like Solapur in Maharashtra, we provide all kind of facilities, all kind of opportunities to our students. It is not like that we are not like, because Solapur is not the tier 1 cities, but being in tier 2 cities also, we provide the like world required opportunities to all our students.
Okay, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what do you think that are some of the biggest challenges you see both for the higher education in general and for NBN SCOE specifically?
Yeah, this is very important question. Let me thank you, Niharika, because like most of the time, what is happening that like everybody has certain expectations from higher education institutions, and of course those expectations are very valid. But like when we say at higher education institute, who are the what I can say, what is the input of higher education institute? It's basically the students who have completed either their like 10+2, or even like the students who have completed their polytechnic diploma and then they are entering in the engineering education. At least, I mean, I'm talking about engineering education specifically, not other higher education institutes. Then they do have very good expectations, and of course those their expectations are valid, but there are students who probably are not but I can say that some of the students, if they come with their own choice to this profession, to this like study, of course they are always welcome and they should come. But if they don't have like interest in this education, because these kind of examples we are saying that the parents or the society or neighbors expect, our friends like are choosing to go to any of the particular education, that's why students come. It should not happen that way. It should be the student should have his or her own interest in the particular branch of the engineering, and then they should enter. And if they by like their own choice, if they are entering, of course they do have like a very good future. And seeing at Solapur also, we are getting the students like of different blend, though they do have different kind of financial or family background. I don't think that the students who do have, suppose like they're coming from some like financially poor background, but if they have the determination, they can like achieve the success. But the student should have that kind of attitude. I personally it's saying that normally these days it is happening that in overall higher education, the students does not used to have that kind of attitude. If they will be having an attitude is most important. If somebody has the proper attitude, now when you are a student, you should have a learning kind of attitude. You should have the attitude that you have to do something extra, because of course everybody will have a degree with them. But other than degree, what extra you do have? When you go in the market, when you purchase any of the product, you see that what kind of value-added services are available in that product. Similarly, with these graduates also, the graduate also should think that what kind of different value added skills I do have other than the graduation. And sometimes because of the lag in the or lack in the attitude, the students are failing not to achieve whatever success they are expecting. Therefore, I think that in most of the higher education institute, it is happening that the students' attitude has to be changed. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you touched one of the most important points that students are facing these days. So, what do you see as NBN SCOE's greatest strength?
Of course. Sinhagad, as I said, Sinhagad Institute, overall Sinhagad Institute, I can say, as I said, we have very good infrastructure. It's a large green campus, it's a 90 acres campus. We have separate building for each department. We have 5 different graduate department and 1 PG program we are running. For every program, we have separate building. But I personally think that infrastructure, of course, as per the guidelines, as per the requirement, you are required to have the infrastructure. But for any of the institute, only infrastructure is not sufficient. What is most important is that the human resource. And I personally, or I can proudly tell that the human resource, like my teaching faculty members, even my non-teaching staff members, all are oriented with the vision of the institute. We have very good strength. Our teaching faculty members or our staff members is the strength of our institute. If I have to say in single line, the staff members of this institute is the strength of our institute. And as a staff member, we all are working in a team. As I earlier also said, as individual, I cannot do anything. We are working as a team. We are working as a family, and that family has a very good strength, and it is moving, or it is helping us to move further. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. So, any suggestion you would like to give to the current youth and the aspiring students?
Yes, of course. As I just now before this question, I answered your one of the question that what are the challenges higher education institutes are facing. I think the current students, there are 2 suggestions from my side, is that first change your attitude, because if you have very positive attitude, till that I can probably tell that okay, if somebody has very positive attitude, he or she can achieve whatever she expects. Therefore, change your attitude. And the second thing is that don't compare yourself with anyone else, or don't just randomly follow anyone. Say that where you have actual interest, whatever faculty of study, whatever faculty of engineering, you have your own interest. Follow that interest. Don't just follow that what somebody is saying, because you don't know when you take normally the students do what they do, that they take the input from their seniors, their elders, or somebody from the society. They tell that okay, this branch of engineering or this branch of education is very good. Actually, when they tell this, they tell with their own experience. But we don't know what is going to happen after 3 or 4 years. The students normally take the admission to their engineering, and after 4 years, they don't know what is going to change in the market. Therefore, instead of seeing what is going to be changed in the market, you should have that kind of perspective. But other than, you should have an interest. If somebody has an interest, follow your own interest. Don't follow what somebody else is saying. Follow your own interest. Change your attitude and follow your own interest. Of course, you will get the success. This is my suggestion to all the youngsters.
Okay, sir. So, what are some plans that you are currently or will be designing for NBN SCOE, international affair, and our students?
Yes, ma'am. As I said, as I answered your previous questions also, we are planning to be recognized at the international level. We want that, of course, our students are getting very good placement. They do have the different kind of opportunities in entrepreneurship and higher studies. Now we are planning that, because being technical institute, being engineering institute, our role is of course we are contributing that way to the society, to the country. But now we are focusing more on innovations. as we have already got some rankings from the national level for the innovation, and because of those activities which we have taken up, now we are more focusing on the innovations, because once the students are getting oriented to their innovations, whatever innovative idea they do have, we already do have the Innovation Council in our college, where through that we try to percolate the ideas of any of the students. We have got the patents of the students, like whatever the projects they have done. Now we are more focusing on the this kind of innovative ideas. And I think that this kind of, because at the national level also, if you could see that our government of India is also focusing a lot that institute should give more emphasis on the innovations, and that like we have taken on the agenda, will be more focusing on the innovations and making our graduates to be ready to solve the society's problem or the industry's problem with their innovative mind. Of course, they do have, but like they will be now more focused on the different kind of innovations. And now let me tell you, 2-3 like very big organizations, they have approached to us, are ready to sponsor us, because they are seeing that we are working very good in those areas. Therefore, now we would like to take our institute in that front to go ahead and to lead at least in this entire region. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. So, besides all this strategy and planning, how do you tend to establish a healthy relation and environment in your college?
Yes. As I said, we have like very good infrastructure. Ambience of the institute is also very good. We have different committees in our college. We like we have different committees at the teachers or the staff level also, and at the students level also. Let me tell you, as I said, our college biggest strength is staff. At the same time, the involvement of the students, because we think that, of course, it used to be a motive of every institute, but it's not only motive, it is even reflected. If you take the feedback from the students also, it has been reflected that the overall development of the student is most important for us. Therefore, we think that the opportunity has to be created for the students. We have our college student council, used to be a very vibrant student council. When I say as a principal, like I have certain authorities and responsibilities. At the same time, whoever like leads my student council, there are different representation in student council. At every department, we have different student associations. Other than that, we have certain professional bodies in college. Other than that, there are different activities where students coordinate those activities. Maybe it's a cultural, sports activity, curricular, technical activity, and we have so many other activities also. I think that through these activities, students' leaderships are being developed. And now there are very good students being after passing out from this college, they are leading in their organizations. So we have very less history, but still they are leading in those organizations, and it's only because whatever kind of conducive environment we have created in the institute, it is helping to the students, and we get that feedback from the students and our alumni and the parents even. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. So, the last question.
Yes.
When you first came to your college, what was your vision for the college? And has it evolved over time? And how far along in implementing that vision are you?
Yes, let me tell you. Actually, I'm there in Singapore Institute since last 14 years. And I'm working as a principal since last 6 years. As soon as I came back after doing a postdoctoral research from France, I have been appointed. Management has given me an opportunity to lead this institute, and it's a beautiful institute in Sholapur. I'm leading that institute since last six years. I completed my 6 years as a principalship, and when I entered in this college, I talked with all my like staff members, teaching and non-teaching staff members, and like I proposed one plan. I told that this is the plan where we are expecting our institute should be. And let me tell you, fortunately, we have achieved more than like 90% whatever we planned 6 years back. And we are having those kind of like outcomes with us right now. Now, as I said, we are having them now. We cannot stop the people, as we know that we should not stop. Whatever we have achieved, it's okay. Now it is like important to have the incremental rise, incremental change in every day's activity. Every year to year, you should have some incremental achievements, and that is how we are focusing. Next, as I said, next 5 to 10 years, we have certain plan. That plan is already been discussed with our our management, even all the stakeholders, even all the board of directors, and then now we are expecting that our institute should reach to that whatever plan we have done for our vision. Because as I said, our vision is to be recognized. One of the of course, we are recognized at right now in this region. Sinhagad Solapur is known to everyone. Now even we have got the national level ranking also. Now we would like to get recognition at the international level also. And Sinhagad Institute is known. Sinhagad Solapur also should be known at this level. That is what our expectation is.